Hello there, Star Wars toy fans. This is Jim, and welcome back to my channel. First, out of the gate, I have to apologize. Sorry, I've been neglecting you guys, but I have been involved in other projects. Aside from work, this is where I'm spending my money, building 172nd World War I aircraft. And it just challenges my skills as a hobbyist, and I just totally enjoy doing this. But I did tell you I would update you on what I received for Father's Day. And so several months later, here we go. So the subject of today's video happens to be the Stand Solo Darth Vader with removable helmet. And I only own 5 Darth Vaders. I didn't put the 5th one out because it really doesn't pertain to the collection. So here is my original childhood Kenner Darth Vader, and the only one that I own of that style. The 1998 Power of the Force with removable helmet. And this one just came out a few years ago. This is from the Obi-Wan collection made by Hasbro, and then again, Stan Solo. So let's take a quick gander at the Kenner one so you have a reference point. If you're not familiar with this one is the authentic Vader that we all know as a kid. It's the only one that Kenner made, has a telescoping lightsaber. Unfortunately, I lost the tip as a kid, and he's got a slight tear in the cape. But otherwise, this is my only version. Hasn't been restored or anything to that matter. Now, looking at Stan Solo's version, let's compare the helmets. And you'll see that there's a slight difference in the helmet. This one's a little bit larger, at least with the peak on top, a different molding altogether. When you look at the chest plate, it's much more detailed, has some nice silver. You'll notice some silver beads on the belt there, nice shiny belt buckle. Now looking at the ribbing on the Kenner version, you'll see there's quite a lot of lines, vertical lines there. This one, they're a little bit more spaced apart. Now a big difference between the two, of course, is the cloth cape versus the vinyl cape. And this was more in line, I believe, with what Kenner was doing with the Return of the Jedi line, where most of the figures had cloth capes. He also has an inner cape, which Vader had in the movie. And when you look at that, it clips just like the Imperial Snowtrooper did with Empire Strikes Back, although they had a vinyl cape. Now, when you compare it with the Hasbro version becomes a little bit of a disappointment because the inner cape is molded into the legs, very similar to that of like you would think the Jawas or Obi-Wan Kenobi or even the Imperial Dignitary. Why they couldn't have done a inner cape like Stan Solo did is beyond me. Now the chest plate's nicely detailed, and I like the red eyes. That gives a different effect. But otherwise, there you go. We have two different versions. And I believe that the fabric appears to be much thinner. You can see my finger through the light. And we'll just use a Stan Solo, and you can't even see it. So, well, barely. So the Stan Solo is a little bit thicker fabric. I would say a better quality material. Now, the lightsabers happen to be very similar to the two. The Stan Solo has a deeper red than the Hasbro version, but both of them have the 3 little dots reminiscent of Luke Skywalker's green lightsaber that came with the Kenner Return of the Jedi series. Now let's go ahead and compare the helmets between Hasbro and Stan Solo. So you'll see here, take off the helmet, fits really nicely. And you can see there that the face is very reminiscent of the actor from Return of the Jedi, the original actor. His name that isn't coming to mind here. Now let's take a look at the Hasbro version that came out in '98. You'll see there's a lot of red scarring on the head. We have some silver highlights there, but I don't believe that the face really resembles the actor at all. Now, Stan Solo could have added a bit of silver there, but it's no big deal. I mean, Kenner didn't add a lot of detail back in the 80s. The big disappointment with this figure made by Hasbro is, of course, he's bulked out like Lou Ferrigno from The Incredible Hulk or Arnold Schwarzenegger. And the actors just weren't really built that way. I mean, David Prowse was a weightlifter, but his outfit looked more like this. And so I am really pleased to have a vintage looking figure in my collection that has a removable helmet. It's really too bad that Kenner didn't do that back in the day. Now, as far as holding his lightsaber goes, he holds it really firmly. The grip is very nice and solid, and it's just a fantastic figure overall. Well, I hope you liked this review. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe to their channel if you're new to the channel. I will try to put together a few more of the Stan Solo figure videos that I've got, and keep you guys up to date with the collection. Take care, and we'll see you on another video.